You ever feel like you're not good enough? Like no matter how hard you try, that little voice in your head keeps telling you you can't? That self-doubt, and it's the silent killer of potential. But what if I told you there are 5 simple mental tricks that can shut that voice down instantly? Because the truth is, greatness isn't about being fearless. It's about acting in spite of it. So here's the question. Are you finally ready to stop second guessing yourself and start showing up like you were born to? 1. Reframe the inner critic. Instead of trying to silence that voice of doubt, give it a name. Make it a character in your story, not the narrator. When that voice says, you're not good enough, you say, thanks for the input, but I'm still showing up. When we learn to recognize that doubt is just noise, we regain control of the dialogue. You ever notice how loud it gets when it's quiet? I'm not talking about the world outside. I mean the world inside. That voice in your head, the one that starts whispering doubts when things get tough. It tells you, you're not good enough, not ready, not worthy. But here's the truth, partner. That voice ain't you. It's just a story you've been told. Or maybe one you've been telling yourself for far too long. Now, let me ask you something. What if you could change the story? See, the trick isn't to silence that voice completely. The trick is to reframe it. When your mind says, I can't do this, you don't argue, you upgrade it. You say, I'm learning how to do this. When it tells you, you always mess this up, you flip the script. I'm improving every time. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about speaking the truth with a little more grace. It's about reminding yourself that growth ain't a straight line. It's a winding road. And every stumble means you're still moving. The way we talk to ourselves, that becomes the foundation of how we show up in the world. You talk to yourself like someone you respect, someone you believe in, and you'll start acting like it. You wouldn't let someone else speak to your loved ones with that kind of doubt and discouragement. So why let it happen to you? Start looking at your inner dialogue like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. And just like in the gym, at first it might feel awkward. You're not used to speaking to yourself with that kind of encouragement. It feels foreign, but stick with it. Make it a habit. When you catch your mind drifting into doubt, don't beat yourself up, just pivot. Just redirect. Say, that's not my truth anymore. Reframing isn't denial, it's perspective. It's about seeing setbacks as setups. It's about learning that failure doesn't mean you're finished. It means you're getting feedback. It means you're trying. It means you care. And that care, that hunger to grow, that's what makes you dangerous in all the right ways. So here's a challenge. Every morning before the day gets loud, take 60 seconds and feed your mind with words that lift you. Tell yourself one thing you're proud of, one thing you're grateful for, and one thing you're becoming. That's how you start to rewire your mindset. That's how you turn down the volume on fear and turn up the dial on confidence. Because self-doubt, it's a shadow. And shadows disappear when you shine enough light on them. So shine. Self-doubt often arises when we focus on what we can't do instead of what we can do. But here's the secret. You have the power to reframe your thoughts. The next time you find yourself questioning your ability to achieve something, catch that thought and ask yourself, what's the opposite of this? Shift your mindset from I can't to I will or I'm learning. When you focus on the positive aspects of a challenge, you begin to see opportunities, not obstacles. In practical terms, let's say you have a big presentation coming up and you're nervous about how it will go. Instead of thinking, I'm going to fail, reframe that thought to, I've prepared for this and I'm going to do my best. A simple shift in your thinking can open doors to new possibilities and help you face challenges with confidence. This technique is grounded in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which is scientifically proven to help individuals break free from negative thought patterns. When you focus on solutions, your brain releases positive chemicals, which boost your mood and encourages action. The power of reframing lies in its ability to turn fear into excitement, hesitation into bold action, exception into bold action. 2. Turn what if into even if. Self-doubt loves to live in the land of what ifs. What if I fail? What if I'm not ready? Flip it. Say, even if I fail, I grow. Even if I stumble, I rise. This shift isn't just mental, it's spiritual. It moves you from fear to faith, from hesitation to action. All right. Let's get one thing straight. Your mind doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined success and a real one. That's the magic of visualization. It ain't wishful thinking. It's pre-programming your mind to win before the game even starts. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of something big, a project, a dream, a challenge. But instead of letting fear and self-doubt whisper in your ear, you close your eyes and see it. You visualize yourself doing the thing, owning the stage, landing the job, crushing the competition, or walking into that room with confidence so thick it bends the air. When you visualize success with clarity and emotion, you're not just daydreaming, you're telling your brain, this is where we're going, get ready. You're wiring your mind for a mission. And that mission is progress. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What if I fail? But here's the kicker. Visualizing victory doesn't guarantee the win. It guarantees the effort. It builds the mindset that says, I belong here. And when you show up like you belong, life starts treating you that way too. Start small if you have to. Visualize that next meeting, that next workout, that tough conversation. See it go well. Feel what it's like to thrive. Let your body believe it before your results catch up. Because they will catch up. The world's most successful athletes, leaders, and performers do this every day. They rehearse the win in their mind long before they step into the arena. So, why not you? Make it a ritual. Each morning, close your eyes for 5 minutes. Breathe deep. See your best self walking tall, speaking with purpose, winning with humility. Hear the applause. Feel the peace. Smell the air. Engage every sense until it becomes real. Because when you create the blueprint in your head, your body will build it in real life. That's how we move from doubt to dominance. That's how we take the wheel from fear and put it back in our own hands. Visualize victory, then go out and earn it. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools used by top performers in any field. It's not about daydreaming, but about using your imagination to mentally rehearse success. When you visualize yourself succeeding, whether it's acing that job interview or running your first marathon, you're training your brain for success. Your mind doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something that actually happens. Let's take a moment to picture this. You're about to walk into a challenging situation like a public speaking event. Close your eyes for a second and visualize yourself walking onto the stage, feeling calm and confident. Picture the audience engaged, nodding along as you speak. Imagine the positive reactions as you finish. By doing this, you prepare your mind and body to handle the real situation with ease. When you visualize, your brain activates the same neural pathways it would if you were actually performing the task. This builds muscle memory, reduces anxiety, and boosts confidence. You're essentially rewiring your mind to believe that success is inevitable, and your chances of achieving that success are much higher. 3, make confidence a daily habit. Confidence ain't born, it's built. You brush your teeth every day, right? Do the same for your confidence. Write a win. Say a mantra. Do one thing that scares you just a little. Stack those wins, and soon self-doubt won't stand a chance. Now this right here, this is about taking control of the narrative in your head. Most people, they wake up and start listening. They listen to that little voice that says, you're not good enough. Why bother? What if you fail? That voice ain't your truth. That's just your fear talking. And if you don't speak over it, it'll run the show. So here's what you do. You start talking. You take the mic back. You become the voice. Because let me tell you, the voice you respond to becomes the voice you believe, and belief shapes behavior. Every morning, every time that little whisper of doubt shows up, you look in the mirror and you say, nah, I've got this. I've put in the work. I'm built for this moment. Don't wait to feel confident. Talk yourself into confidence. Be deliberate, be loud, be clear. Now, I'm not saying lie to yourself. I'm saying remind yourself. There's a difference. You know your truth. You've survived storms. You've gotten back up more times than you can count. And you've got the scars to prove it. That's not fantasy. That's proof. The problem isn't that we hear negativity. It's that we let it run on autopilot. So interrupt the pattern. Say it out loud if you have to. I am capable. I belong. This fear, it's temporary. But my purpose, that's permanent. This trick rewires your brain over time. It shifts you from reaction to intention. You stop being the victim of your thoughts and start being the author of them. And when you become the author of your thoughts, you become the director of your life. Apply it anywhere: before a meeting, a workout, an interview, a date, a dream. Talk yourself into focus. Talk yourself into peace. Talk yourself into showing up as the person you want to be until you no longer have to fake it. Because soon enough, that voice inside your head won't be doubting you anymore. It'll be cheering you on. And when that happens, self-doubt doesn't stand a chance. Talk to yourself. Don't just listen. Many people fear failure, but failure is one of the most valuable tools for growth. In fact, some of the world's most successful people attribute their success to the lessons they learned through failure. Every setback is a learning opportunity. Instead of viewing failure as a dead end, see it as a stepping stone. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Imagine you've just launched a new project and it doesn't go as planned. Instead of beating yourself up or feeling defeated, take a moment to evaluate what went well, what didn't. What would you do differently next time? By reframing failure as a learning opportunity, you begin to see it as a necessary part of the journey, not something to be feared. Failure provides real-time feedback on what needs to be adjusted, improved, or approached differently. Instead of dwelling on disappointment, you use failure as a tool for refinement. Every time you fail, you're actually closer to your goal because you've learned what doesn't work, bringing you one step closer to what does. For borrow belief. When you can't believe in yourself, borrow it from someone who does, a mentor, a friend, even a past version of you, that younger you who overcame heartbreak, failure, rejection. That version of you is proof you can do hard things. Let them remind you who you really are. There are days when you just don't feel it. You wake up and the tank is empty. No motivation, no confidence, no sense of direction. That self-doubt creeps in, pulls up a chair, and starts making itself comfortable. And that's when you borrow belief. See, we've all got people in our lives, maybe a parent, a coach, a mentor, a friend, maybe even a stranger who said something powerful once. Someone who looked at you and said, "You've got it in you." They saw something before you could. They believed when you couldn't. That belief, that's not just encouragement, that's fuel. When you don't have the fire, lean on theirs. Borrow belief from the version of you that made it through worse. Borrow it from the people who love you, who root for you when you're too tired to root for yourself. Borrow it from your future self, the one who's already won, already healed, already conquered what you're facing right now. Because sometimes strength doesn't mean standing tall on your own. It means reaching out and holding on. It means knowing that belief doesn't always have to come from within, not right away. It can be transferred, it can be shared, and it can grow. You ever seen a rocket launch? The shuttle doesn't get off the ground by itself. It needs boosters, external force, until it's high enough to break through gravity on its own. Borrowed belief is your booster. And once you're up there, you'll carry your own momentum. You weren't meant to do life solo, so stop beating yourself up for needing support. Needing others doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. The truth is, we're not just here to grow, we're here to grow each other. Iron sharpens iron, light passes light. So if your flame is dim, get close to someone burning bright. Borrow their warmth, borrow their fire, and when you're ready, pass it on. That's how we rise, not by standing above each other, but by lifting each other. Because belief, even borrowed, still gets the job done. You with me? Sometimes we don't have enough belief in ourselves to move forward, and that's okay. Borrow belief from others. Find someone in your life who sees your potential, someone who believes in you more than you believe in yourself. Let their faith in you fuel your own. There's power in letting other people's belief bolster your confidence until you can build your own. Let's say you're starting a new venture and you feel uncertain about your abilities. Talk to a friend, mentor, or colleague who has seen you succeed in the past. Ask them to remind you of your strengths. Let their words serve as a reminder that you're capable, and use that belief to push through the tough moments. Research shows that surrounding yourself with positive, supportive individuals can increase your motivation and confidence. When someone else believes in you, it's easier to believe in yourself. Their encouragement acts as a mirror, reflecting the person you are capable of becoming. Over time, as you achieve success with borrowed belief, you'll internalize that confidence and carry it with you on your own. 5. Act before you're ready. You don't need to feel confident to act. You need to act to feel confident. Motion creates emotion. Confidence comes from doing. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Show up. Start. Self-doubt hates momentum. Once you move, you prove it wrong. Let me tell you something that's been true for every great leap I've ever taken. I didn't feel ready. Not fully, not perfectly, and that's the secret right there. You don't need to feel ready to act. In fact, waiting until you feel ready is often just fear dressed up in perfectionism. See, self-doubt loves to whisper, wait, prepare more, plan it out just a little longer. But let's be honest, that one more day turns into a week, then a month, then a year. And your dreams, they start collecting dust in the attic of your mind. Here's the deal. Confidence doesn't come before the action. It's the reward after the action. The courage comes from the doing, not the waiting. Think about every big move you've made in life. Maybe it was starting a new job, telling someone how you feel, chasing that wild dream. Chances are you didn't feel 100% ready, but you did it anyway. And after, you realized just how much more capable you were than you thought. That's the trick. You act, then you believe. And when you do that, you start building a rhythm. You train your mind to associate action with growth, not fear. You teach yourself that progress isn't about perfection. It's about momentum. Keep stepping forward, even if the path's foggy, even if you can't see the full staircase, you climb the first step. So what's holding you back right now? A lack of readiness? A voice saying, who am I to do this? Flip the script. Ask instead, who am I not to? You want to beat self-doubt, move through it. Feel it, sure, but don't set up camp there. Don't let hesitation become a habit. Don't wait for confidence to knock on your door. Go out and earn it. And yeah, you might stumble, you might fall, but at least you're in motion. At least you're not sitting still while the world spins around you. Because action, even imperfect action, is proof you believe you're worthy of what's next. So show up, step in, speak out. Go now. Not later, not someday, now. Fear is natural. It's something everyone feels, from top athletes to business leaders to everyday people. The key to overcoming self-doubt is not waiting for fear to go away, but taking action in spite of it. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Every time you act, even when scared, you're building resilience and proving to yourself that you are capable. Let's say you've been putting off making an important phone call or asking for something you want. The longer you wait, the more fear grows. Instead of letting that fear paralyze you, take a small step forward. Pick up the phone, make the call, and remind yourself that the fear won't last forever. Every time you take action, the fear shrinks and your confidence grows. Action is the antidote to fear. When you take that first step, you disrupt the cycle of overthinking and hesitation. Your brain releases dopamine, rewarding you for taking initiative. With every action, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you can handle anything that comes your way. The more you act in the face of fear, the less control fear has over you. So there you have it, 5 mental tricks to push past that self-doubt and step into your greatness. Remember, it's not about waiting for the fear to disappear, it's about acting in spite of it. Trust in yourself, borrow belief when you need it, and start making the moves that lead to your success. Now, I want to hear from you. What mental trick do you use to beat self-doubt? Or which one of these are you going to try first? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to see how you're taking action. And hey, don't stop here. If you're ready to level up your mindset even further, check out the next video in the playlist where we dive deeper into mastering your confidence and crushing any challenge that comes your way. Keep pushing, keep growing, keep believing.